Rainbow passage. When the sunlight strikes raindrops in the air, they act as a prism and form a rainbow. The rainbow is a division of white light into many beautiful colors.
The rainbow passage. When the sunlight strikes raindrops in the air, they act as a prism and form a rainbow. The rainbow is a division of white light into many beautiful colors. So my experience with this surgery has been really spectacular. Basically, ever since I was able to start talking again, except for maybe the first week or so, where I wasn't even really going out talking to anybody because my voice sounded not great at first. It was very gravelly and pitchy and hoarse and difficult to control, and my volume and my power were low. But all of that began to come back for the most part over the next several weeks, and yeah, pretty much since then, it's been great. It's amazing because basically I seem to pass in every situation now, which is wonderful, whether it's in person but also on the phone. I haven't been sirred once since the surgery. I get ma'amed a lot and missed occasionally. I even did I did kind of a little experiment after I was able to start talking again, because I wanted to have an objective idea of whether my voice was passing. So what I ended up doing, because it's hard to find out, from friends who see you a lot, one, there's the kind of the visual aspect, which is a little bit psychologically distracting, I think, and it's hard to judge yourself totally objectively. And you're worried that, maybe people are just being nice, if they say your voice passes or sounds good or what have you. So I wanted to know objectively, and I basically called around a bunch of different auto dealerships in my area, and I felt a little bit rude, but basically I pretended to be in the market for a car, and just hoping while talking to the salesperson that they would drop some kind of gendered address, right? Hopefully ma'am, hopefully not sir. So I did that with a bunch of different places, and found that I got a lot of ma'ams, I got 0 sirs, and I got a lot of nuns too, a lot of people who didn't say either way, but yeah, it's not been, I'm a little over 4 months since the surgery now, and I've yet to be sirred once in any context, and that is a really, really lovely thing. It's been just a massive relief for me, a massive weight off my shoulders, to just not have to worry anymore about, opening my mouth, especially in front of strangers, and, having to worry about that moment of, now they're gonna know I'm trans. So yeah, it's a really beautiful thing. I think I've had a pitch gain of about, I think around 60-ish hertz, which is a little bit less than the average gain advertised by Yason, but of course not everybody's going to be average, but it's hard to complain when my voice still seems to sound well within what is normal for cis women. Yeah, so I highly recommend, if you can possibly afford to do it. For me, it was a stretch. I had to go into some credit card debt and things, but it was fully worth it. Dr. Kim seemed very, very competent to me and very honest and very kind as well. And I just had a good experience with it all around. So I did have one issue with, I do highly recommend that before anybody, obviously, you know, if you're not from South Korea, and you plan on flying in from another country, I do highly recommend getting a blood test beforehand to make sure that nothing abnormal is going on with you physiologically. I did have a bit of a blood work scare when I got tested there that almost kept me from being able to do the surgery, which was really, really stressful and scary. But basically it just ended up getting pushed back until the day before I flew out, which was, that kind of kept me on my toes the whole time. So it ended up working out all right, but I had some kind of high levels of some things that were a little bit concerning there for a bit. So I do highly recommend that if you are able to, you have your blood tested maybe a week or two before you fly out to make sure there's nothing abnormal, so you won't have, if there is, so you won't have wasted, you know, a lot of money on plane and hotel and all of that, because that almost happened to me. But thank goodness it didn't, and I'm very happy with the result.